Good evening on this day 17, Saturday. I spent the day busy doing things with my daughter, so I've left this until the evening, till after she's gone to bed. So, yeah. I'm also kind of thinking about this today, what I want to talk about, and I had a call with my sister, which gave me some context and things, so I suppose I kind of want to talk a bit about finding your peace, finding your place in the world, if you like. Realistically, people say, that, you should have things worked out by, you should know what university or college you're going to go to, or you should know what job you want to do, or, you should work out kind of. There's a whole lot of societal expectations. Again, going back to this, the root of all this is what other people think. The societal expectations of all these boxes you should check off that, you should do. But, it's okay to not know. It's okay to muddle along. As long as you're kind of thinking about yourself, thinking about your happiness. It's okay for that happiness to be in the now without having any kind of context of future. You can get stressed. It's very easy to get stressed about things. I get stressed without knowing I've gotten stressed. I always say I don't get stressed, but I do. What I mean is that I don't. When I was younger, when I didn't have money, and I wondered about how I was going to pay the rent and how I was going to pay the next, was I going to live on anything other than Coke and noodles for the rest of the month. Then, excuse me. I was going to live on anything other than Coke and noodles for the rest of the month. I would say, well, I don't have the money, so that's just what I have to do. But later on I recognise that there is actually, especially at work, when I have deadlines that I am afraid I'm not going to meet, I get stressed. Now, I've yet to fail to meet a deadline, but I get stressed coming up close to it, and it manifests itself as I hunch more. I get a pain in my jaw from clenching my teeth. I get a pain in my chest from shortened breaths. I get a headache, and there's just a few symptoms that are very simple. They could be anything, but they're stress related. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, like, it's okay to not have a plan, and it's okay to not know where you're going. It's okay to work it out as you go along. The old Indiana Jones, I'm making this up as I go along thing. Be a big proponent of it. I think it's a good kind of, if you don't have any set goals or agendas, it's an okay way to kind of live your life, and you shouldn't pass any apology for it. People don't realise the pressure they put on other people when they say things like, are you going anywhere on holidays? How's the apartment search going? And I know there's care in that. There's care from the person who's asking the question. They're worried about. Not so much worried, but they're just thinking about. Sometimes they're thinking about themselves and how, they think, well, if I'd like somebody to ask me about that, so I'm going to ask about that. But actually can put people who are suffering from stress or that kind of from depression, they can put them under pressure because they feel the necessity to have an answer. And the reality is there is no answer. So my message to you today is to be kind to yourself and try and find peace in the now. Try and accept that whatever now is fine. As long as there's no kind of, obviously that comes with the caveat of not having any kind of externally applied pressure. But if what's bothering you and troubling you is self-manifested or is caused by external factors that you have no control over, and try and find a way of finding peace in that, if you can. I know that's a much easier thing to say than it is to do. Don't beat yourself up about it if you can't do it, It's, again, if anything, my messages are all about just they're about giving yourself a break, not being so hard on yourself. So, I don't know how to find inner peace. I don't know. Some people do meditation, some people do yoga, some people play video games, some people go to bed early and sleep a lot. If you haven't found a way to do that, then don't worry about it. The one I often see in meditation is, it says, lie down and clear your head. I have absolutely no idea how to do that. Clear your thoughts. No idea how to do that. When I lie down, my brain just goes 90 miles an hour. And it goes in 50 different tangential directions at the one time. And it stresses me out because I think I'm supposed to be clearing my head. So I find that type of self-help stuff useless. What I have found helpful is, it was one tip that I read that was that if you can't clear your head, just think about the words clearing my head, clearing my head, clearing my head. That's just those words. Repeat them over and over again in your head. That's enough. To me, when you say clear my head, it means void it. Empty as a vacuum. But actually what they mean is just stop thinking about lots of things at once. You can't stop yourself from thinking. Focus on your breathing is the other thing they say. So actually saying the words breathe in, breathe out in your head as you breathe, they're things that help you to clear your head. So, again, societal pressure, external pressure. We could all do without it. So don't add to it by putting it on yourself. You're doing great. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but you're doing great. So, anyway, for somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about anymore because I've run out of topics, I seem to be making these longer every day. Maybe that's part of it. I'm rambling more than sticking to a point. So, anyway, let's do these press-ups. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. What you do now is go and mix pancake batter, put it in the fridge, and have pancakes for breakfast in the morning. Nigella Lawson, look her up on, I think it's her own website, look up her recipe. Get that ready and treat yourself to pancakes in the morning. And have a good evening.